What's going on, everyone? It's that time of year to get those pre-emergents down, or not. So everybody's telling you right now that you need to get down your pre-emergents. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the reasons why you really shouldn't be putting down a pre-emergent, and it's really a waste of your time. Let's get into it. So if you're planning to do a spring seeding, pre-emergence is not for you right now. The main objective of pre-emergence is to prevent seeds from actually establishing. It doesn't prevent them from germinating, but it prevents them from establishing. That includes weed seeds and the desired grass seed that you're hoping is going to grow into your lawn. So if you are planning to do a spring seeding, make sure that you're avoiding those areas which are pre-emergent, which is why I like to go down with a liquid. I have more control of where that pre-emergent lands on the turf if I want to do some spring seeding, spot repair in certain areas. So if you're planning to do a spring seeding, you may want to reconsider actually going down with your pre-emergent right now. The next thing is that if you don't have any history of the weeds that are actually controlled on the list or the label of the pre-emergent, there's really no need for you to put it down. So pre-emergents actually have a very short list of weeds that they actually control in comparison to a lot of the other herbicides. If you are trying to control a weed that is not listed on the label, you're probably wasting your time for actually putting down a pre-emergent because you're not gonna get any control over that weed. The other thing is some weeds are actually winter or fall weeds, which means they've already germinated at this point. One of those being Poa annua. Poa annua is actually a winter weed, fall weed if you want to say. So it has already germinated at this point. You may not be seeing it in your lawn, but it's already germinated. So if you actually want to prevent Poa annua, that application should have been made last year back in the August-September time frame. That time has already passed. Those seeds have already germinated and they're already growing in your lawn. So applying a pre-emergent right now is not going to do anything for you. There's also a number of other winter weeds that are in the same category with Poa annua. So if you're trying to control those, such as henbit, that is another one that is a broadleaf weed that really needed to be controlled last fall. So you might ask, Cam, are you applying a pre-emergent this spring? Nope, I'm not. So there's a number of reasons why, and some of those are what we just briefly talked about. But reason number one is being, I've had control over crabgrass in my lawn for over 3, almost 4 years now. So I haven't seen any, and I've got good control over it. So if prodiamine being the pre-emergent that I would go down with is mainly for crabgrass, but I haven't had a history with that weed in 3 or 4 years, I'm not really getting anything out of it. So that's reason number one. The next reason is the main weed that I deal with in my lawn is hairy bittercress, which is also a winter weed, meaning I should have already had that pre-emergent down last fall to help prevent that. There's no need for me to go down with the pre-emergent now to try to prevent that weed from germinating. Being that I've taken care of this lawn for a number of years now, it has gotten established. It's got a good density to it, which is one of the main weed deterrents that you can have naturally, is to have a healthy, dense stand of turf. Not too thick though. So having that density in the lawn means that I may have smaller outbreaks of weeds if I do have them. And when that occurs, I can easily come along and spot spray those and not have to worry about doing blanket applications. So this is not to say that you don't need to put down a pre-emergent and you should never put down a pre-emergent, but just think about it. Are you really getting out of that pre-emergent what you think you are? Just a little food for thought. If you do decide to go down with a pre-emergent, check this video out that I've got right here. That'll break down some of the information on the pre-emergents that you may be applying in your lawn. As I always say, just know we work.